This is the Microschool Minute, your weekly dose of microschooling news and events.
In this week's edition of the Microschool Minute.
An Iowa House panel has advanced House File 2078, which would provide a $4,000 refundable tax credit per dependent for families homeschooling their children. To qualify, children must be eligible for public school, not currently enrolled in one, and not receiving education savings account payments. The bill, which carries no income restrictions, is part of a broader push to expand school choice in the state following the implementation of universal ESAs. Proponents argue the credit provides financial equity for homeschooling families and continues Iowa's leadership in educational freedom. However, critics have voiced concerns regarding a lack of guardrails and the potential negative impact on public education funding. An amendment is expected to narrow the bill's scope to competent private instruction, which includes reporting requirements to address accountability concerns. Iowa Auditor Rob Sand recently reported that while an initial audit found no spending issues within the state's education savings account program, significant delays in receiving data from the Department of Education and the governor's office hindered a thorough investigation. Sand emphasized that with the program projected to exceed $300 million in fiscal year 2026, transparency and accountability are paramount for taxpayers. He warned that such delays weaken public trust in the rapidly growing program. Governor Kim Reynolds dismissed these criticisms as politically motivated, noting that the auditor's own report ultimately gave the Department of Education a clean audit with zero findings. Reynolds argued that the auditor had been provided with the requested information despite his claims of insufficient time for a complete review. This exchange highlights the ongoing political friction surrounding oversight of the state's universal school voucher system. The West Virginia House Finance Committee is evaluating significant changes to the Hope Scholarship Program as its estimated cost has climbed to $230 million. Chairman Vernon Criss stated that the program's growth necessitates bumpers or parameters to ensure its long-term sustainability and manage state budget pressures. The committee's deliberations focus on stabilizing cash flow as they work on the upcoming fiscal budget. Democratic delegates have criticized the lack of income-based requirements in the proposed adjustments, arguing that reducing benefits for all families rather than targeting those in need is unfortunate. Delegate John Williams expressed concern that the program's current trajectory could lead to significant deficits for the state. The committee has yet to take action on the bill, with further discussions scheduled to address these fiscal concerns. West Virginia Treasurer Larry Pack has expressed strong opposition to newly introduced legislation that would drastically change the structure of the Hope Scholarship Program. Pack noted that these proposed refinements are occurring less than 2 weeks before a planned universal expansion, creating significant uncertainty for the nearly 25,000 new students and families expected to join. He urged lawmakers to reconsider the bill, warning of negative effects for families seeking educational alternatives. The Hope Scholarship has become an increasingly heavy budget item for West Virginia as it expands from its original scope for kindergartners to universal eligibility, while some lawmakers view the bill as a necessary step for fiscal management. Pack characterizes it as a move that disrupts the program's progress. The debate underscores the tension between maintaining expansive school choice and the state's ability to fund it. A new ballot initiative in Arizona aims to introduce income caps on the state's Empowerment Scholarship Account, ESA program, a move that experts estimate could remove 15% of current participants. The initiative is backed by the Arizona Education Association and Save Our Schools Arizona, who argue it is necessary to address waste, fraud, and safety concerns within the taxpayer-funded system. If approved, the measure would go before voters in the November general election. Opponents, including State Superintendent Tom Horn, contend that the income cap punishes families who are simply trying to meet their children's educational needs. They also warn that Arizona's voter protection laws would make it very difficult for future lawmakers to adjust the program if the initiative passes. The proposal has sparked a significant debate over the balance of educational choice and fiscal oversight. The Houston Independent School District HISD Board of Managers is set to vote on a proposal to close 12 schools starting in the 2026 to 2027 academic year. Officials cited aging infrastructure and declining enrollment as the primary reasons for the closures, with data showing a loss of over 13,000 students since 2022. Research suggests this decline was accelerated following the state's takeover of the district in 2023. The enrollment shift reflects a broader trend of students leaving HISD for nearby districts, charter schools, or private options altogether. These closures mirror similar challenges in other large urban districts, such as Philadelphia, which is also facing school consolidations due to under-enrollment and unequal facilities. The district has already implemented layoffs as part of staff leveling efforts to align resources with the shrinking student population. Texas is launching a massive $1 billion Education Freedom Account EFA program for the 2026 to 27 school year, representing one of the nation's most significant investments in school choice. The program will provide up to $10,474 annually per eligible student for private school tuition, while homeschooled students can receive up to $2,000 per year. Students with disabilities are eligible for even higher amounts, up to $30,000 annually. The application window for the program opened in February 2026 and immediately saw a massive surge of interest from families across the state. This universal voucher initiative is expected to fundamentally reshape the Texas educational landscape by providing families with more direct control over their children's schooling. Its implementation is being closely monitored as it competes for funding with traditional public education. The newly launched Texas Education Freedom Account (EFA) program has experienced an unprecedented level of demand, with over 100,000 students applying since the window opened on February 4th, 2026. Within the first hour alone, the program received 8,000 applications, a number that grew to over 30,000 by the end of the first day. Supporters of the program believe this high participation rate validates the multi-year effort to expand educational options for Texas families. The rapid adoption of the EFA program is being compared to the early launch phases of similar programs in other states, though the scale in Texas is notably larger. This surge highlights a significant trend toward alternative schooling models, including private schools and microschools. As the 2026 to 27 school year approaches, the state faces the challenge of managing this massive influx of applicants and ensuring the program's administrative success. As alternative education models like microschools proliferate, the issue of accreditation has become a critical focal point for many providers. Accreditation serves as a mark of quality control, but often involves significant hoops and hurdles that can be difficult for small, innovative schools to navigate. These barriers can include complex regulatory requirements and administrative burdens that contrast with the flexible nature of the microschool model. The debate over accreditation centers on how to ensure student safety and educational quality without stifling the very innovation these schools aim to provide. For many microschools, seeking accreditation is a strategic decision to gain access to state-funded voucher programs or to provide families with third-party verification of their standards. As school choice expands, the role of accrediting bodies is becoming increasingly influential in the alternative schooling sector. For better or for worse is yet to be determined. The nonprofit Newbridge Cleveland is moving forward with plans to transform the former Case Elementary School into a 66,000 square foot career district, despite a recent major flooding incident. President and CEO Bethany Friedlander reported finding 5 inches of water in the building due to an internal plumbing leak, but confirmed the organization remains committed to the project. The site is slated to become the nonprofit's new headquarters, focused on training youth and adults for healthcare careers. The project aims to revitalize a vacant community asset into a hub for vocational education and community support in a high-need field. While the property owner must now address the water damage, the vision for the site remains unchanged. This initiative represents a growing national trend of repurposing closed public school facilities for innovative alternative educational uses. Dozens of families who use the Hope Scholarship packed a West Virginia House Finance Committee meeting to voice their strong opposition to proposed reforms of the program. Many parents traveled long distances to advocate for keeping the scholarship as is, describing it as vital for their children's future and educational needs. The committee room was filled with supporters who emphasized the program's importance to the state's educational landscape. Tensions rose when the committee adjourned without taking up the bill, prompting vocal expressions of displeasure from the parents. Advocacy groups and individual families argued that they should not be ignored, with many vowing to return with even more participants to protect their educational choices. The mobilization reflects the intense grassroots support for school choice programs and the political risks associated with altering them. Significant updates to the Achieving a Better Life Experience (ABL) Act took effect on January 1, 2026, expanding eligibility to individuals whose disability began before age 46. Previously, the age limit was 26, meaning millions more Americans can now access these tax-advantaged savings accounts to pay for disability-related expenses like education, housing, and health. Additionally, the annual contribution limit has increased to $20,000. These accounts are a critical tool for the alternative schooling community as they allow families to save for specialized education without jeopardizing their eligibility for means-tested benefits like SSI or Medicaid. There are no income limits to open an account, making it a flexible financial option for families with children who have special needs. The expansion reflects a major policy move toward enhancing financial independence and security for the disability community.
Thank you for tuning in to the Microschool Minute, your weekly review of microschooling news and events. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to support us, consider leaving a review. Until next week, happy microschooling.